And so this is what people right now are having issues with. They have locked themselves into a value and belief system, a way of thinking that they know is not allowing them to evolve and grow. And the trauma here is that they are afraid to change because nobody's telling them that you have to change. You will change. You are changing. So I use a simple example. When you inhaled just now and then exhaled, you were not the same person. And if you're inhaling now, once you exhale this used oxygen, nitrogen extracted air out of your lungs and nasal passages, you will not be the same person. Then you're constantly changing, and it's demanded of you to do so. You have to constantly change to be able to keep the physical body and yourself connected. So where does a person get the perception that change is not healthy, that we don't want to change? And why are you changing? You know, we want you to stay like this and be like that. Well, what does that have to do with what you're here to do? First law is you're here to change. And for you to keep your body functional and capable, you're going to have to do that on the average of somewhere between 16 to 18 times a minute as far as your respiration. So that's a program, but it has nothing to do with the natural need for you to be in balance and in peace in your physical body and have issues with change. So it's so interesting. I had a little experiment that I did with myself, and we're all always talking about convenience, that, you know, I don't want to go over there, and, oh, this is too far, and, oh, my goodness, you know, you got to go 2 blocks away. Well, I don't want to go, and, you know, we have to go to another city. Oh, my goodness, you act like you have to go to the other side of the world. And I'm like, this is really interesting that people would get this kind of mentality, that they want to stay fixed and stuck in the same place and only have to reach out, even sometimes not as far as the length of their total arm and forearm, that they have to reach beyond the length of their total arm and forearm. That's too far away. That's an inconvenience, which means what? That these people are programmed to do what? Not to change, to resist change. And so I got into that. What does that mean? Well, for me, I was way too much into my mind. Okay, when you get a very powerful mind, and that's one of the things about power that people have yet to discuss, is that when you have a mind that can project an ideas, thoughts, your sensations into the air, into the cosmos, and many other people can pick it up, then you're communicating, you're becoming synchronistic with these other people, where the body now is not necessary to mediate that exchange. And literally, this is what the telephone has done for us, and this is what the internet and social media has done, that we can just now just encode whatever language you speak, just, you know, punch it into the phone or, you know, utter whatever we want to say, and we can talk to people anywhere, Antarctica, any place in the world, so that it now has diminished the use of the body. And that's what you have to pay attention to. How much of your life is diminishing the use of your body? Because everything has to be at fingertip level, okay? You're not doing anything with the body. Now, am I telling you that you got to basically go to the gym and run 5 miles a day and, you know, lift up 3 times your body weight, et cetera, for your body to have significance and meaning? And of course not. That's ridiculous too, because you putting that kind of energy and effort and burning up that kind of fuel that the body could be using in many different ways, and it has nothing to do with your purpose in life, is futile. So we've gotten really out of balance here and really trying to understand what we're supposed to be doing at this time. And most people are not understanding that it's about change. It's about changing at this time. But what's different about changing now as opposed to when it was 2 years ago or whatever, not labeled the global reset, because it's critical now that you've got to pull it together, get it together to recognize that the change is a must. You're not going to be able to get through this global reset, the apocalypse, or through the rest of this millennium if you're not willing to change and change continuously. So whether you've lived in your house for 10 years, 20, 30 years, you change every moment to stay there. And this is what we have to now recognize. You've got to polarize what's happening here. And for you to assume that because I lived in this house 30 years, et cetera, that you didn't change. Oh, yes, you did, continuously. And so now we have to look at the fact, does the change now require you to still have to respire 16 to 30 respirations a minute and then pack your stuff and still leave the house that you left and you lived in for 30 years? It just may be the case, because now your inability to change when the indications are that you need to change has to be looked at sincerely. And a lot of people are not willing to do that. So you bring crisis into yourself, crisis, so that you have to change. Okay, I want people to understand that the people who are being burnt out of their environments by fires, flooded out of their environments by water, basically poisoned out of their environment by toxic air. Okay, removed from their environment because the earth is literally just cracked open or just sunk away from your house. These were opportunities. Yeah, they were opportunities for these individuals to recognize that it was time for them to have major changes, but they weren't able to see these major changes being needed until, in their behalf, the elements of this planet had to show them, now you got to go or you won't be able to stay here with this body. Oh, yeah. And so many of us, we resist the changes when we know that they're evident. Okay, and then now when, critical things happen, oh, I know I should have left here 5 years ago. Oh, I know I should have been here gone last year. And why didn't you? Because you had been programmed in the mindset that there was something inappropriate about you changing. When you knew, and that's what the body is for you, it's a barometer. It's an immaculate, incredible barometer to tell you at all times what's happening in the cosmos, what's happening in your sector of galaxy here, Balatropha, what's happening in your solar system, what's going on here in your city, in your house, and what's going on in your body. That's all the different levels of information your body is to present to you at all times. So you, as a literally light being, and photons are always moving. I don't care how solid the mass is, those photons are still in movement. So you're always moving. That's why we talk about vibration, movement. You're always moving. And so to deny that and to think that you're not moving and to think that you're not supposed to change is an actual denial of your existence. So take a moment and really, really just think about this. Okay? All you're asked to do is change. All you've ever done since you activated your body is change. So why is it now that it's such a really big issue for you when it's evident that change must happen at a much bigger level, a global level? Are you in the proper place in your life at this time? And if you are, why aren't you?